All right. Hey, Pearl. Well, thanks again for taking the time to chat with me today. I guess, to start out, what kind of made you choose to make the transition, back to MMA after boxing for a bit? And, what made XFC the next step for you, just given everything you've done in your career so far?
Oh my goodness. I think I love boxing. I absolutely love it. It's a newfound love for me. I love the striking and all the challenges that it presents. However, I'm a grappler. I always have been a grappler. And MMA has always been, a big love of mine, probably my biggest love in my life. I've been doing it for almost 17 years now. And, it was it was interesting how XFC, this opportunity presented itself. It made perfect sense for me. I was ready and itching to get back into competition. And XFC, presented the opportunity. And, what I love about this is XFC was the original promotion early in my career that kickstarted my professional MMA career. And so I love that I took a break and stepped away from MMA for a while and am able to kind of come back and, be reintroduced into the sport again through XFC.
For sure. And you would just mention that you really did embrace the transition from MMA to boxing, and now returning to it. Is boxing something that you would, envision yourself doing in the future if the right opportunity was again, or do you think now that you're officially back in MMA that it's going to be MMA full throttle going forward, or have you not, thought that far just yet?
Right now I am completely submerged into the MMA world. I am back here in San Diego, with my home team, my home MMA team, 10th Planet San Diego, and I'm on the mats several hours a day right now, completely submerged myself back into the grappling, back into the wrestling and the rest of MMA. And, right now I'm really focused on this fight and the task at hand, which is next week with Medina. But I love to fight. I am a fighter at heart, and it really doesn't matter the sport. It's the competition within itself. Kage, within itself that I really, really enjoy and love. So what presents itself next, we will see. I'm hoping that I stick to MMA right now. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm spending all my time. But if the right opportunity presents itself in boxing, absolutely. Who knows? There could be other striking too, karate, combat. I mean, there's just so many other opportunities, any kind of professional jiu-jitsu. I did a lot of that before, making my transition to boxing. So I'm a fighter. I love to fight. I love to compete. These are my years. I'm not here for a long time. I'm just here to have a good time. So see what presents itself next.
For sure. So talk about, Monica Medina as an opponent and what she kind of brings to you, stuff realistically compared to some of the other opponents that you fought in the past, and, what challenges does she, present you that maybe you have or have not seen before, and how do you plan to exploit those?
I think that Monica Medina is very well experienced. She has also competed in bare knuckle boxing. She was a champion over there. And for me, that was really all I needed to hear. That really excited me is the fact that she is a striker too. She's been focused on her boxing and she's tough. She's not scared to fight without gloves on. And I love that. I think I've watched her fights. She's gritty. She has, good clean straight punches. She likes to sit in the pocket and go back and forth. She's not afraid to get hit. And that is what excites me the most about Monica Medina. Where I'm at in my career is, I love a firefight. I love the chaos. I love, to withstand the storm and be in that storm today. That's what I loved about boxing was there was no running from it. You had to compete in the pocket. And, I believe that she's going to present that same opportunity for me within MMA, where she likes to be in the punching range and in the pocket. And so, I'm looking forward to going toe to toe with her. I want to see who's got the better straight punches and see who hits harder and who's the last woman standing.
For sure. And, I'm just kind of talk to me more so about your training camp. Obviously, you're wrapping up your 10 days out from the fight. There was obviously the announcement that, the event is going to be a pay-per-view on In Demand. Can you kind of talk about just kind of being at a big stage, obviously, with this being your MMA comeback, and just kind of talk about what the final days of training camp have been like for you?
Yeah, training has been crazy. I came here for a reason. This has been my longtime MMA camp here. And it's so intense here. I mean, I'm training 6 to 8 hours a day. I don't want to cut back on my training. They did cut me from sparring. We typically tend to cut sparring about 2 weeks out. And so my heavy sparring is over. But it's just, for me, the most important thing was getting back on the mats and getting comfortable again in grappling. I've been a grappler my whole life. And to step away from it for the last couple years has been interesting for me, because I feel like it's a completely different identity of who I am as a boxer and an athlete. And so, I think that right now, the training has just been, there's tons of cardio, there's tons of strength and conditioning, and tons of blending right now, blending my striking and everything that I've been working on these last couple of years in my boxing, back into the sport in MMA. And I think that is what excites me. I only want fights right now that excite me. And what excites me the most right now is the fact that I get to see the sport has evolved tremendously since I've left it. I left it in 2020. And where it is, sorry, I have a kitty behind me that's a terrorist, and he's just tearing things up in the house. But the sport has evolved tremendously since I left it in 2020. I mean, it's a completely different sport, in my opinion. And I want to see if I am able to kind of turn that leaf as well and see where I'm at and where I stand within this sport today with my new striking skills, with my new range and just different fighting style that I have compared to what I was when I left the sport, and to see how I evolve and how well I fit into it. And that is what's exciting, because it's risky. And that's what I want today in my career. That's what I fight for, is for the risky, like the moments that scare you. And that's what this is, it's MMA 3 years later. So I want to see where I fit in here.
Absolutely. So, well, I guess one of my final questions to wrap this up is with all the MMA that's taking place on the weekend of April, they should be able to tune into your fight, and if they aren't tuning into your fight, what are they missing?
Oh my goodness. I can guarantee that I'm going in there for a striking fight. I'm going in there to strike. I believe and know that Monica has the same mentality. She's coming to strike. Yes, I'm a grappler. Yes, I've been a grappler my whole life, but that is not at all what I want to showcase. I've shown my grappling in all the rest of my MMA fights. I want to show my striking, and I believe and know that Monica wants to do the same. So it's just going to be a fun back and forth fight, and we're going to see which woman can handle it and which woman's standing last. So yeah, tune in for an exciting, fun fight, and then you get to watch the big fights the day after.
For sure. Well, it was wonderful to get a chance to talk to you. I was actually at your last fight in Bird Boxing last year, so I did get to see you compete in person, which was very exciting. And thank you for taking a chance to have the time to talk with me today. And my name is Zain Bando, and you'll see this the week your fight on Sports Illustrated. So look out for that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on, Zain. It was exciting. I hope you're at my next fight. If not, tune in. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Pearl. Thank you, Zain.
Thank you. Bye-bye.